Hi guys and welcome back. Today we have a HTC Desire 500. This particular one is not turning on and it has been dropped into water. So we're going to attempt to do a water damage repair first, just to see is it a viable repair, and then we'll work from there. The screen actually has a crack on it as well, but there's absolutely no point in changing it. At this point we'll wait and see is the phone is it something that we can recover before going ahead with that. So we're just going to remove the screws all around the bezel. Nice phone to work on, not too difficult. You just need to be careful with the ribbon cables. There's a lot of them in there and most of them on the HTC are hidden. So as you can see here, we're just levering out the bezel. It comes off that easy. As always with water damage, make sure and turn your device off straight away. Remove the battery if you can. This would be the correct way of making sure that there's no damage that's going to pop up down along the line from corrosion or something along that line. So we can't really see a lot from where we are at the minute, so we're going to actually remove the board altogether so we can get a look on both sides. But even from here, you can see I'm pointing out some watermarks. They're definitely things to keep your eyes on. You'll see certain parts of the phone do let in water and moisture an awful lot more than others. So once we have the two screws and a little plastic holder there for the dock connector removed, we can lift this just enough so we can get to the ribbon cable behind and detach it. And here's one of the first hidden cables. We're going to have to remove this plastic cover that's on this ribbon cable underneath here. Just take your time, these ribbon cables are very delicate. And there we go. Once it's detached, we can take back the adhesive backing with the ribbon cable. And that's going to be left attached to the main board. And as you can see, we open the board like a book because there is a connection still on the inside. If you were to lift that straight off, you'd probably damage the cable and you'd have to replace the whole lot. So as you can see, when we open this up, that I've noticed a lot of water damage in this particular area. So you can just see signs of corrosion there, and this damage is about 2 weeks old. It happened about 2 weeks ago. I would have liked to get it sooner, but I think we can work with it. It's not, if it's fresh water, salt water, the phone would have been finished by now. So we just disconnect that ribbon cable. Just be very careful of that one, it's easy to forget. So really, to get down to the surface mount chips on the board, we have to remove the two shields on each side of the main board itself. So as you can see, just take your time working around. Clip these from the outside as well. You should not put anything in there and lever up off, say, the surround that's around this shield. You'll see even when I'm levering from my finger. I'm not pushing the tool inside at all. I'm just working on the very edge. It takes a bit longer, but you won't damage anything that's in under them shields then, because they're pretty delicate in under there. So that's the first one off, and as you can see, we get a clear view of the surface mount chips. And corrosion is already starting to be visible now. Nothing too terrible, but there was definitely moisture in here. So we'll just do the same on this side. We're going to remove the shielding this side as well. This repair would have taken probably, all in all, maybe 2 hours. I had to speed it up a small bit because my upload speed isn't that great when I'm putting videos up for YouTube, so I've condensed it down to about 25 minutes. At any stage, feel free just to slow down the video and have a closer look at what I'm doing. As you can see now, we can see right down to the board once them shields are removed, and it is a good time to put it under the microscope and have a right look at what could be on the board. So the major thing that kind of stood out to me straight away was this connector. This is the this connector for the screen. So this definitely needs to be either repaired or replaced, and I'll always try and repair them before replacing them, especially because if you see the second connector from the end on the bottom there, it doesn't look all that strong. The connector itself looks fine, but the pad underneath looks slightly corroded. So really, if I can avoid putting heat on any delicate pad like that, I will. So as you can see, at the start it's in a pretty bad condition. We can see some green, and we see some black, and there's a lot of build-up of corrosion there. So we're using an artist brush. This is a really fine brush, very soft, and we're using 90 to 95% isopropanol, something alcohol based. That's a good strong alcohol. You can really see it here. As soon as I put it down there, it evaporates straight away again, but it does its job. It pulls all the impurities and stuff away from the connectors, so it just makes cleaning up an awful lot easier. What I'm using here is it's a cotton pad with isopropanol. So if there's anything stubborn down there, that should remove it. Again, I'm using this on the end of a tweezers, very delicate. Take your time, no panic. I think I probably spent a good 20 minutes, half an hour, just going over the board itself, making sure everything looked okay, and testing out as many things as I could. Be very delicate when you're pushing into the connector like that as well, because it can bend the pins. If you break one of the pins, you'll have no choice but to replace the entire connector. Again, under normal circumstances that'd be fine, it wouldn't be a big deal, but just when corrosion sits in like that, it can damage the pads underneath them connectors, and sometimes the first bit of heat they get, they'll break off the board, and then it becomes a big job. As you can see, I've got a really fine tool here. You can see the pad or the connector on the bottom right. It's kind of caked with corrosion there. We just want to try and loosen that up as much as possible without doing any damage. So we just get in there with a little fine tool and just try and loosen it up, and then remove it with the brush and the isopropanol. the way things are going with most of these modern smartphones, they're extremely resistant to water damage. One of my videos there, I bus iPhone 4 down to a container of water, and I leave it there for half an hour and the phone doesn't even switch off. You know, it's pretty amazing in comparison to a couple of years previous than that. Slightest bit of moisture whatsoever and the phones would die. Now, so long as I get them, you can nearly guarantee if you get them within the first hour or two that they'll be fine. The longer the time goes on, the more corrosion that sits in, and the corrosion is really what kills the board. There's so many different types of metal on the board that it's just, especially salt water, it will just destroy a board within a matter of days, weeks. So really the only way of doing a correct repair on water damage is to actually get down here. I know you could do things like put your phone into a bag of rice and things like that, but realistically they don't work. In the long run, your phone isn't going to be the way it should be. And even with the rice methods, the rice do contain salt and starch, so they probably compound to make the repair more difficult down along the line. So as you can see, the connector is cleaning up nicely. Just going to spend a bit more time on it though. I want to kind of get some of these connectors a bit better. Some of them need to be straightened slightly as well. We'll take our time and we'll make sure this is right. We want to give the phone absolutely every chance we can to recover from this. Okay, so we flip around the board so you're looking at the same connector from the opposite angle. Just to get a good look in there. And again, you can really see the difference in the colour between the solder pads on the bottom of the board, nice and silver, and the solder pads on the top of the board, slightly black and corroded. With the isopropanol, we've got rid of all the contaminants that are there, so really that shouldn't progress any further than what it is. So trying to get that last connector just a little bit brighter. The more contaminants we get out of there, the better. This isopropanol as well is completely safe to use with electrics, so long as there's no power or current in the board. Obviously you wouldn't use this with the battery connected or with the charge cable plugged in or anything. That's a big no-no. The phone has to be powered down, battery has to be removed. So you can see here there's one or two of the pins that are just sitting forward a small bit. Really delicately we're just gonna push them back in. Line them up approximately. Being very careful. What's probably more important there is the plastic dividers between each of them gold tabs. That's what actually lines up the connector to go in, and it stops the connector from crossing from one to the other. So that's a pretty big improvement. So once that's done, we give the phone 20 minutes to half an hour for all the isopropanol to evaporate. I mean, the isopropanol is gone inside 5 minutes, but just as a safety factor, I give it 20 minutes, half an hour. If it's very cold, just apply heat and airflow. So even if you had something like a hot air gun or a hairdryer, the actual heat is secondary. The airflow is what will really evaporate the isopropanol. So here I'm just removing as much of the old adhesive as I can. The cleaner the surface down here, the better the adhesive will work between the bezel and the outer screen. If you're getting into this this line of work and you're the one thing I will say is you really aim for quality, not quantity. You know, it's great if you can get a phone like this out in half an hour. That's fine, but quality you'll always get your customers to come back. So I try and go that little extra mile as much as I can. I rarely rush jobs. So you can see I'm just putting down the adhesive. I've got my 3M strips for each side. I don't have any pre-cut adhesive for this, but it's fine. I have sheets of 3M, which is the best of the best adhesive. So we're just going to put out what we need for top and bottom, and we'll be good to go. One thing that's not in here is I did try the new screen on the board without sticking it down to this bezel. Of course, if the new screen that we've got from the supplier is damaged, it'll be a lot easier to get a replacement sent out if it hasn't been actually used, as in fitted with adhesive. So I tried the screen outside the bezel and the phone boots up. So immediately I shut it down again, and we're going to go for the final. We're going to put everything together and then test it finally like that. Just on a quick note, guys, if you like videos like this, you're more than welcome to subscribe to my channel. I try and make the videos as interesting as possible, and you know, something you'd learn from, or you could take a little thing from, or maybe you get an idea from the way I do my things, and you know, share the knowledge. So I'm just going to give that adhesive I put down there just a little blast of heat. It just activates it and it makes it very, very sticky. So the screen has a ribbon cable on the top and bottom. I usually put in the bottom one first on this particular model. Another thing to remember is once them ribbon cables are in there, make sure just to give them a little tug from the back, because they can crease underneath the new screen if they're not pulled all the way through, and the crease can actually destroy the ribbon cable. So just make sure it's out to its full length. And of course, when you go to fit it, if the cable is a bit too, you know, if it's not long enough to reach the connector, obviously there's a kink in the cable somewhere. we just we reinsert the cable into the ribbon cable into the connector there. And we can fold over the board and start putting everything into place. Very nice phone to work with, the HTCs. Just you know the difference if you're working with iPhones, or if you're working with Apple products and you work with Samsung, you work with HTCs. They all have their own way of building things. You'll tell after doing repairs on a couple of models from the different companies. There's different ways of doing things. So we're going to put down the plastic tab again on the charge cable, the charge connector. Nice idea this, it adds an awful lot of strength to the dock connector. So just do a final test. And yeah, everything looks good. And touchscreen works perfectly. And of course, before we go at the phone again, we're going to shut down the phone completely. We'll reinsert all the screws around the outside of the bezel. Very trendy looking phone as well. You can get them all different colors and of course, we're going to do one final test just to make sure nothing has changed. This is the last chance we'll have to test it before it's given back to the customer. We want to go through touchscreen, we want to go through the dialer, make sure it's, even use the keyboard if you can, turn on the camera front and back, turn up your sounds, make sure the volume cable's working, make sure the power button's working. Everything really, you want to plug it in and charge it, make sure it's taking charge, make sure the dock connector is okay and clean. And you're pretty much good to go after that. As always guys, like, comment and subscribe for more videos like this.